Whether you're a casual Sunday player or a top-level professional touring pro, each hole you play ends with you putting the disc in the basket. And unless you put your disc in the basket on the opening shot, you'll probably have to putt at least 18 times in a full round. But hopefully no more than that.
No.
While every shot is equally important to the overall outcome, in the end, the difference between a good and a great round is usually either a successful or a failed putting game.
And I mean, don't look now, but that's 5 in a row.
You can play great disc golf by throwing long, accurate opening shots. You can make up for failed drives by always approaching to the bullseye. But the fact is, no one can become a top-level disc golfer without a consistent and reliable putting game.
This is a tip that'll help you learn how to putt.
In this video, I will not discuss putting as a technical performance. There are hundreds of videos, different schools of form and styles, and ultimately no two players putt with the same technique. Instead, I'll talk about the mental side of putting.
But in these scenarios, it's not about what you've done, it's about what you're going to do.
The side that ultimately determines whether you can get your putts in under pressure, whether you can focus on one shot at a time.
It's tough. Here's Paul. Paul is triple bogey 6.
And whether you can shake off the failed putts from your mind so you can try the next putt from a clean slate. I have divided putting into 6 different stages. Each step follows the previous step in a logical progression and adds another layer to the performance. They have to be done in a certain order, and if you miss a step, you will probably have to go back a few steps or even start your concentration from the beginning.
It looks like maybe she just rushed that one a little bit, didn't take the time that maybe she wanted to or needed to.
Yeah, we talked last time about routines and making certain you get set.
Whatever your putting style and technique, it's important to go through these steps in your mind every time so that they become a familiar and safe routine that you can always return to. Even and especially when you feel nervous about playing and your throwing doesn't feel natural anymore. Whether you spend 3 seconds or 30 seconds on your putt, it's worth going through these steps every single time.
So huge putt here for LeCastro for birdie here on number 8.
Remember, it doesn't matter whether you're putting for birdie at 20 feet or a double bogey at 50 feet, every putt is equally important. And if you always prepare your putt with the same care, no matter how long it is, you'll learn to trust your routine, and in doing so, you'll even out the difference between long and short putts. The first step, deciding.
This is a tip that'll help you learn how to putt.
Every putt, long or short, bogey or birdie, starts with a decision.
Disregard the river behind it, he does not care.
What?
Do I give the disc a chance to go to the basket, or do I just aim my shot under the basket? This is the decision that will determine your entire attitude towards the upcoming shot. Either you put confidently towards the basket and accept the possibility that you might miss and face the potential consequences calmly, or you accept your destiny and you just approach your disc under the basket. Whatever you decide to do, commit fully to your decision. Half-hearted attempts tend to fail, and if you give your shot a 50% chance, you're relying more on a chance than skill. And if you do decide to approach, congratulate yourself on a straightforward decision and do your best to succeed in that.
Oh, this is rollaway city. If he rims this off, this is a death putt.
It's also important to understand that every putt cannot succeed. If you decide to attempt your putt to the basket, but the basket is on a mound, be aware of the potential risks. If your putt fails, congratulate yourself on a brave attempt and putt again. But remember, you already knew what would happen if you missed. So don't get shocked, don't get alarmed. That was a calculated risk and you tried your best. You just failed, but you made the decision anyway. Number 2, targeting. But remember, not tightening.
This is a tip that'll help you learn how to putt.
Take your stance, whether it's with your feet apart, staggered, or something in between. Make sure you have a sturdy stance and that there are no rocks or cones under your feet to distract your concentration. Look at the basket, check your mark. You now have a mission. One mission only.
So huge putt here for LeCastro for birdie here on number 8.
Like the hunter who, after seeing his prey, looks for the best angle to attack and the deadliest spot to hit, you must find the best spot in the basket to hit your disc. Go through the chains and links of the basket. Find the single link that speaks to you. It can be at the bottom, it can be at the top, in the middle, or a little to the side. It can be the back chain or the front chain, and aim your disc there, and only there. The point is that it's the point that you feel at that moment is the best point to hit.
When I'm in the circle, I want to hit this spot.
After that, relax. Don't stare at the basket. Don't kill your prey with just looking at it. Rather let your gaze go soft. Why? Because a lot of your tension comes from your face. If you do like this with your forehead, it can feel that all of your body is tensed because your face is tensing. So rather than gazing at the basket like this, that look like you're killing it, let your forehead go soft, let your cheeks go soft, ears, everything, throat especially. Let your gaze go soft. Look at the basket, look at the link, look at the spot you're chosen with the soft gaze, and let the tension release from the top down all the way to your shoulders and your arms. Number 3, committing.
This is a tip that'll help you learn how to putt.
You've now decided to make the putt. You've found your favorite spot in the chains, and it's time to make a permanent commitment.
That's commitment. If your hat stays on, you're not trying hard.
No, you're not trying.
This means you've reached the point of no return, and you're no longer thinking about anything but one thing: throwing the disc to your target.
Don't think about missing. The minute that you start thinking about missing, you're already on your way to missing.
Create an imaginary bubble that only you can enter. There are no other players, no spectators, not your mom, your dad, or your spouse, only you and the basket. There's nothing else. This is your safe space from now on. Remember, you have 30 seconds to make your putt, so there is no need to rush. Take your time and feel in your mind that you have found a good position and a perfect aiming point. Don't pay attention to the other players or what you'll say on the podium or how this shot will affect your rating or career earnings. Don't even think about how important or pointless this shot may be. Even the result is irrelevant at this point. You don't care about the past, you don't care about the future. There is only this one moment and nothing else. Number 4, visualizing.
This is a tip that'll help you learn how to putt.
An often overlooked but important step in every throw is the visualization. If you have no idea of the trajectory of your throw or what you're going to do with it, you clearly haven't planned your throw well enough. Well planned is already half done. Half planned is not even begun. Once you've chosen a good aiming point for your disc and committed to hitting, visualize your disc flying to that exact spot in the basket. See it happen. Imagine you're watching a movie or playing a video game. Maybe you'll see the slow motion of a successful putt, or maybe your disc will leave a glowing star in its wake. You're in the director's chair now, and you have the chance to decide how this movie will go. The human brain is an extraordinary machine. The brain can create realities that do not conform to the laws of the real world. They can imagine events, anticipate situations, and teach us how to deal with problems that are not yet in sight. Our brains cannot decipher whether something is real or imagined. Our bodies start to respond to the signals our brains send us, and our muscles start to work even though your brains are only imagining events. Think of a frightening scene in a film. You know full well it's not real and that everything you see is imaginary. Yet your heart rate may rise, your hair stand on, and your muscles tense, ready to flee. Your body reacts appropriately to what it sees. This is a trait you can use to your advantage in putting game. By visualizing a successful throw, your brain gives your muscles the right commands in advance. You'll see in your mind's eye a shot you've made thousands of times in practice. Your brain knows what you want and your muscles know how to do it. All you have to do is tell your body to act. Number 5, executing to putt.
This is a tip that'll help you learn how to putt.
Everything you've done so far ends with the execution. It's the most important moment of the putt, the moment when all the previous steps accumulate into a short, explosive movement. Now is the moment when the movie you wrote becomes reality. During the execution, it's important to not think about anything other than your intended target. For example, by thinking about the way you perform or the technique of your putting stroke, you will only distract your mind from what is important at the moment. And trust that you have trained your muscles to work properly without having to teach them anything new at this point. Remember, your body moves with the eyes. So keep your eyes on the target until your disc has stopped. Never ever turn your eyes before the disc has come to rest. Yes, that's true. Whether the disc has come to rest on the ground or in the basket, don't look elsewhere. Look at your target only. 6th and the final phase, forgetting. The most important characteristic of a successful disc golfer is a short memory.
Brutal. Yeah, that was incredibly hard to watch.
Whether your putt goes in or misses, it's important not to put too much weight on the outcome.
You suck! But it's true.
Forgetting about successes is also important. If you get a putt in, give yourself an encouraging pat on the shoulder, pick up your marker, retrieve your putter from the basket, and prepare for your next shot as if the last one never even happened. Just to avoid comparing your future throws to the previous successes. They are individual shots. A successful putt should give you pleasure and reward for a job well done, but it should not be allowed to distract you from playing the next shot like it's the first one. Similarly, if you fail to make the putt, give yourself an encouraging pat on the shoulder, retrieve the putter, and putt the next one in. As simply as that. You have to forget what happened the moment before. If you gave the putt your all, you prepared carefully and did your best, you can't regret the outcome anymore. Yes, it's true, this time the disc didn't go in despite your best efforts, but you did everything you could, and that's all you can do. Accept the result and do your best the next time too. Keep a calm attitude. I know it's hard, possibly the hardest thing in disc golf. But you can either accept the situation and calmly continue your round like nothing happened.
Oh, no way. Oh my gosh.
Or you can outrage.
Unbelievable.
All emotions.
Frustration. He smashes it down in the bottom.
But remember, you can't change the outcome. So it's better to just accept what happened and put the next putt in.
Oh no, Eagle. Save your throwing hand.
Right, do it with the other hand if you're gonna do it, son.
If you let your emotions get the better of you, get ready for a rough ride. Because whatever your result, you'll have to play the next shot eventually anyway.
Oh my goodness, look how slow that thing's rolling. And this is about 10 feet further than where he just was.
Okay. Just pretty mad about it too.
The result doesn't care about your feelings. The basket doesn't care about your feelings. The disc doesn't care about your feelings. And yeah, your card mates don't care about your feelings.
Hey, dude, come on, dude. I can say I suck at disc golf if I want to. Come on, dude.
I gave you a courtesy warning. Cut it out, man. No need for the cussing, dude.
Especially after a failed putt, it's important to put the previous putt out of your mind and prepare for the next one as carefully as you did the previous one. They are, all putts, equally important in the total outcome of your round. So here were the 6 stages of putting. Please let me know what you thought about it. Please let me know if you have incorporated these or if you will incorporate these in your round. And please subscribe, share, comment, and do all the shenanigans to make this a little bit more successful video and my channel more popular, because It can help you play better. Bye.